It's day 2 of our passage to Sardinia from Mallorca.
Welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, welcome aboard our floating home Ragdoll. I'm Daria, this is Chris, and that's Jasper, and these are our 3 seaworthy dogs, Hachi, Luna, and Mimi. We're just an ordinary family navigating life one sail at a time. In June 2023, we left Scotland behind with no plan to return. We live, sail, and work full-time, all while cruising Europe, for now. Every wave tells a story, and every sail brings us closer to the unknown. We invite you to be part of our adventure as we share our experiences, insights, and the ups and downs of living life on a boat. So, sit back, relax, enjoy, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We had a wonderful time with all the kid boats in Poyenza and spent around 4 weeks there. The anchorage provides great shelter against the Mistral winds and has generally good holding with everything you need just a few minutes walk away from the dinghy dock. Some of us even took the opportunity to do our paddy diving course whilst there. We even hired cars for a couple of days and explored the east coast of Mallorca. As the weather was not playing ball with us crossing to Menorca, we took the chance and decided to skip the island and cross straight to North Sardinia. Left Mallorca as the Cape and Mistral around the Mediterranean was building, and it arrived in full force with us on our first evening in Port Alicia. We were treated to a frightening yet beautiful lightning display that had us all in awe and fear at the same time. With the Thunderstorms and Mistral came the 25 to 30 knot winds, which kept us company at anchor for a solid 4 days straight before they began to ease off. And just like that, the unstable weather had passed, and we were leaving Port Alicia to head east towards Palau, where we caught up with the rest of our scabby monohull kid boats and stocked up on groceries and supplies before Chris had to fly off for work for 3 weeks. Whilst Chris was away, I sailed Ragdoll around the Maddalenas with SV Revelation and SV Empress, borrowing Michelle for a second hand whilst we moved anchorages, and I couldn't be more grateful to you for your help, so thank you, Michelle. We sailed the Maddalenas for a couple of weeks, but due to it being high season and the anchorages being absolutely jam-packed full of charter boats and day boats, which involved way too much chaos to a point where we didn't want to step off the boats in fear of someone else hitting us, we decided to head south towards Olbia. In the end, we ended up in the wonderful Gulf of Aranji, where we spent the next 4 weeks or so. Can you see a pattern here?
Nice!
After a week in the anchorage, thoroughly enjoying ourselves, we went out for pizza with the rest of our scabby kid boats.
The following day or two, I began to feel really unwell, and things progressed from bad to worse. With Chris still offshore, I ended up in hospital with suspected meningitis. Long story short, I was unlucky enough to get dengue fever from a mosquito bite and spent most of the next week in bed. And even now, almost 2 months later, I'm still not fully recovered. I could not be more grateful to the Empress crew who looked after me, Jasper, the dogs, and the boat in a time when I couldn't be there or simply wasn't functioning. I don't know what I would have done without you guys. A huge thanks to the rest of our Scabby Monohull fleet as well, and all of your kindness, help, support, and get well wishes when everything kicked off. And before we knew it, Chris was back.
So let's backtrack a little before we get into what happened. Now, I am by no means a weather expert, but I will try, in simple terms, explain the sequence of events that led to the weather system that had us questioning whether we will make it through. CAPE stands for Convective Available Potential Energy and is a way of quantifying how much energy there is available in the atmosphere for a thunderstorm to develop and strengthen. More specifically, CAPE provides an approximation of updraft strength within a thunderstorm. And why is this important? So convective instability comes from the ability of a parcel of air to rise through the atmosphere unaided by any sustained lifting mechanism, such as a storm system that's constantly lifting air parcels higher into the atmosphere. Now, we need to remember that warm air is less dense, therefore lighter than cold air. So air parcels will continue rising on their own as long as the temperature remains warmer than its surroundings. When air parcels are warm and buoyant, they will rise towards the top of the atmosphere and often will accelerate just as air bubbles accelerates upwards through water. Think of blowing bubbles underwater, same effect. In the atmosphere, as these air parcels rise, they cool down and condense into these big bubbly clouds that you associate with thunderstorms and rain. When these parcels of air rise fast enough to separate the electrostatic charges in the atmosphere, you get lightning. So the more of these warm air parcels you have rising quickly, the more convective instability is present, therefore the higher the potential for a thunderstorm to develop is. So that's CAPE in a nutshell. You probably recall me mentioning the Mistral a few minutes ago too, so let's go over that one. The Mistral is a cold, northerly or northwesterly Cadbatic wind flowing into the Gulf of Lion from the southern coast of France. The Mistral is caused by the conjunction of an area of high pressure in the Bay of Biscay and an area of low pressure. The flow of air generated between the two systems draws in a current of cold air from the north, which then accelerates through the foothills of the Alps and the Cevennes. The Mistral winds are one of the strongest in the Gulf of Lion, with sustained winds often exceeding 40 knots. The effects of these gale force Mistrals can extend into the western and central Mediterranean, creating high sea states throughout the entire region, especially blowing through the Strait of Bonifacio between the islands of Corsica and Sardinia. So anyway, where were we? Oh yeah, the Gulf of Aranci storm. During the worst of the storm itself, we motored into the wind whilst at anchor, trying to avoid other boats hitting us and help our anchor hold us as over 60 knots of wind rolled through the anchorage. We weren't sure we'd make it through and were ready to abandon ship if necessary. We didn't film much, but what you'll see next is snippets of what we did film and what other boats around us filmed as this was happening. The worst of it barely lasted 15 minutes, but it sure felt like it was hours.
Outside watching the spectacle of lightning thunderstorms in the Gulf of Aranci, sitting below a 22-metre aluminium rod. Seems sensible.
Seems so.
When the wind began quickly picking up and then the coldest of breezes hit us as direction changed, it was time to start the engine and be ready.
That's fine, just keep us forward.
So it's going totally crazy. We've got 55, 60 knots of wind, massive waves, got some boats dragging. It's chaos. We hear it coming, the boats in Olbia, and we're in the middle of it now. Fucking our turn. Fuck. Crazy.
Just monitoring the passage of this huge big thunderstorm and lamenting the approach of the next one.
So we are sitting here in Gulf Aranci on the northeast coast of Sardinia, watching the weather continue to go mental. Yesterday we had a big thunderstorm that went through the area. We knew it was coming, the cape was really high, the wind was high as it was showing 15 to 20 knots through most of the day. And generally when the thunderstorms hit, it seems to be that the wind triples, and it did exactly that. And I think we noted the highest knots at about 61.4, which really was quite something to get through. Ragdoll held beautifully with a heck of a lot of support, even though it was steadily rocking us out at 50 to 55 knots, gusting 60s. On the upside, when it did eventually go down to 30s and 40s, it felt like a good breeze in management in comparison to what 60 had to offer. But now that that has passed, we have a very big mistral coming through the area. And for the next 7 to 9 days, we have anything between 20 and 50 knots of wind coming through the bay. And right now the forecast is goddamnly accurate, and we've had gusts of 37 this morning, this afternoon, and it just keeps building and building.
Security, security. All ships, all ships, all ships. This is Corsica MRSC for a coastal warning gale for the Corsica area. Listen VHF channel 79.
Live on a boat, they said. It would be fun, they said.
For days, the wind held at 25 to 35 knots, until it finally peaked on Friday the 13th.
Here's the squalls. Knots.
After days of being stuck on the boats and the weather finally getting better, we went out to celebrate our near hurricane survival with everyone. We spent a couple more days hanging out before the weather window appeared for all of us to finally leave Golfo Arrangi.
And how does that make you feel?
We're not talking feelings, honestly.
You don't want to do.
It's nice,
I don't
Jim.
say anything anymore, yeah.
We're shy all of a sudden.
We were having a lovely time, and you're bullying us. That's what's going on here. Centre of the windward issue further aft to stop Esperance sailing up and down
And hurricanes.
in hurricanes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're trying to use what they've got to barge something that will move the centre of effort of Esperance's above water profile further aft so that she doesn't dance around the anchor. That's what we want.
But I mean, I get that. Something like that would be amazing, wouldn't it?
That would be the pièce de résistance.
Well, that's basically what the back of a wind vane looks like, or the back of an airplane. Yeah.
Vertical stabilizer.
I could even. I mean, there is a. I think like the solar panels. There's almost a gap. I could wedge a windsurf sail inside that gap.
I was going to say, if you could, like, do you know what? Tell you what to try. Tell you what to try. Beside your solar panels,
Side, both sides. Basically making it wider at the back.
anything to project area further back and put drag further back.
Even just a minute ago, even just moving a big surfboard from there to there might help. Anyway.
I dare you to try the rigs. I dare you to try it.
Hey, there's me.
I think that would work.
I have a design degree and a successful design background, and this is the sort of sketches I do. Can you follow that? Yeah.
And I'm going to colour this one in.
Ooh.
Look at this.
It's a blue sail, actually.
Is it blue?
Yes, blue.
Right, we'll get blue up. Is it more cyan? Is it kind of...
It's dark blue, but with clear patches.
Right, okay, there we go.
If you can get that right. Chris, I've done a better drawing than you.
It's the cricket man!
Without any thought, I keep moving on. I don't even care if my soul is gone. So many words that I should have said. Not concerned about how to live instead. Just open your eyes and take my advice. Stop rolling the dice and just compromise. It's the chance of your life. Okay, try to be brave. You have so much to save. Take control of.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And till next time.